Hello everyone, my name is Chris Cowley and I'm the CEO of the City of Burnside. And today I'd like to take the opportunity to talk to you, our community, about this year's annual business plan and budget and what it means for you and the rates going forward. Now, to support you through what's been a challenging few years, the City of Burnside has provided rate rises historically that were consistently lower than CPI and often lower than many of the metro councils around us. Now this includes back-to-back 0% rate rises across 2021, 21-22, and then a 3.5% rate rise in 22-23, and then a 6% rate rise last year. Cumulatively, this was 6.7% below CPI. And in essence, that provided a $3 million saving passed back to you, the community. Now, while we've strived to support you through all these unprecedented challenges that have come with COVID pandemic, Council is now in a deficit financial position with our debt levels growing. If we are to continue to deliver over 120 services to the standard that you expect, we need to operate on a break-even or a small surplus basis. The services we are talking about include construction and maintenance of roads, footpaths, drainage networks, our beautiful parks and gardens, many facilities through the city, tree management, environmental projects, our amazing library, the numerous community centres, waste management and recycling. Now in 24-25 financial year, we're estimating a fairly large increase in our cost of running this business of around 13.4%. This increase is driven by many of the cost of living pressures that you yourself are experiencing in your own homes. When you combine this with maintaining all of our assets across the city, the council has had to consider two rating models, which I'd like to share with you today. The first is a 3-year recovery model, which includes a 9.8% rate rise next year, with rate rises of CPI plus 3.25% and CPI plus 0.5% in the following 2 financial years. The second option that Council is considering is a 1-year recovery model, which includes a 14% rate rise, with rate rises returning to CPI in the following financial years. Now, Council has ultimately decided to seek your specific feedback on the 1-year recovery model. Both models provide different benefits, but ultimately with the aim to return Council to a financially sustainable position in the near future. Now, I know these percentages seem large given the many pressures you are already experiencing. It may help if I break down the percentage increase into actual dollar terms. If we look at the 14% proposal, that equates to an annual increase of $299 or around $25 a month. If we look at the 9.8% model, that equates to $209 a year or $18 a month. Of course, I know you have a lot of questions and your thoughts may be, how can we reduce this rate rise? As we're all navigating soaring utility and supply costs. So I'd like to just take an opportunity now to perhaps go through some of the questions that are in your minds. One of the key questions that I know you might be asking is, why is the City of Burnside proposed rate rise so much higher than other metro councils? There's 2 key reasons for the magnitude of the proposed rise. The first is the need to address the 6.7% historic gap between past rate rises and the CPI, which equates to circa $3 million. That figure has been passed on to you historically as a saving. The second reason is we've been hit with a 6% increase in the cost of maintaining our community assets, which we will incur going forward into the future. This rise equates to approximately another $3 million. So when you combine these 2 factors, this has dictated that Council needs to consider an increase quite a bit higher than CPI. Can you cut services to save money? The answer is yes, we could cut services. But looking back in the past, our community has spoken very clearly that they would prefer if we didn't cut services in the City of Burnside. Council currently delivers 122 services to the community, And most of these services have a significant benefit to all. For example, road management, our library, waste management, parks and gardens and reserve maintenance. Meanwhile, other services only benefit some. For example, our aged care support or our sporting facilities. What service would council cut to reduce the rate rise? Do we cut a service like home support for older residents who are a smaller portion of the population, but whose need is the greatest? Every service benefits someone in the community, and therefore any council service will have a negative impact. Though you may not need service today, someone else does, and you might need it in the future. Another question you may be considering is, can't you just reduce the number of employees you have? This is one of the most common questions we receive, and people may think that there is an excess of staffing levels within our organisation. I've been actively reviewing our staffing levels over the last 4 years, and combined with my own analysis and benchmarking across the industry, I've actually demonstrated we actually run quite lean at the City of Burnside. And if we were to reduce our staffing numbers, it would actually hamper the day-to-day running of council and our ability to deliver services to you, our community. Another logical question is, how did you get in this position? Well, in simple terms, council's been raising its rates at levels below CPI for too many years. The graph below shows the gap. Now, council did this in the best intentions to assist you with the many financial challenges that you're experiencing in the past. And I firmly believe that council made the correct rating decisions with the information it had at the time they were made. But what we know is that this trend, it cannot continue because it's not financially sustainable. Another question is, what is the rise above CPI going to be used for in terms of this rate increase? Now, the additional funds raised above CPI will be used to achieve three things. The first is to meet the additional cost of asset maintenance across the City of Burnside, to keep our assets in a pristine condition for your utilisation as our valued community. The second is to pay down debt so that we remain in a sustainable financial position. And the third is to reduce that accumulated shortfall I alluded to in the last question between CPI and those historic rate rises. An overarching question is, can't you just cut cost? Now, we've explored this with our Audit and Risk Committee, and over the last 4 years, they have been working with council on looking at our cost base, and over the last 4 years, we have demonstrated that we have had an ongoing savings program. We are now at the point where if we were to cut costs further, it would actually have a negative impact on the delivery of those 122 services I spoke about earlier. An important question, I feel, is what if you're struggling to pay your rates? Our council is cognizant that some of our community may be struggling at this point in time with the cost of living pressures that are impacting all of us. Please know, council has several hardship provisions that are designed to assist you if you are struggling to pay your rates. If you need help, please contact us early and we will assist you to the best of our ability to get you through these difficult times that you may be experiencing. Importantly, what I've just shared with you is all part of council's draft annual business plan and budget. The key word here being draft. We need your feedback for the council to understand clearly what your thoughts are on the concepts I've shared with you today. Please take the time to look at our documentation, the many projects we're looking to deliver, and in particular, looking at the proposed rate rise. Please take the time, fill out the surveys and send them back to us. You have until the 24th of May, and you can do them either in hard copy or online through our Engage Burnside website. Thank you very much for taking the time to listen to this video, and I look forward to receiving your feedback on this very important document. Thank you.